I'm Oli France, an adventurer and expedition leader, and I've spent my life travelling around the world, searching for its wildest places. Now, for a world first, I'm embarking on my most ambitious adventure yet, the Ultimate 7 project. My lifelong dream to travel from the lowest to the highest altitude of every continent, entirely by human power. Cycling, climbing, skiing, rowing and walking. This is the North America leg of my multi-year adventure, where I'll be journeying 3,500 miles from the salt flats of Death Valley in California to the peak of Denali in Alaska for more than 2 months. This is going to be a serious challenge that's going to push me to my limits, but I can't wait to explore this amazing continent.
Standing in Badwater Basin in Death Valley. This is the lowest point in North America. From here, I will journey 3,500 miles north to Alaska, to my end point of Denali, the highest point on the North American continent. This is day 1 of my toughest physical endurance test yet. Let's go.
So I'm leaving behind the salty pools of Badwater Basin and beginning my journey north into the Californian wilderness and into Death Valley, an infamously inhospitable desert that's often considered the hottest place on Earth. After months of preparation and training and years of dreaming, I'm so excited to finally be on the road.
And the temperature's not too extreme, but certainly it feels quite remote out here. But just look at these landscapes. This is what it's all about.
To hit my goal of reaching Denali within 6 weeks, I need to cycle 100 miles a day for the bike stage of the expedition. This is going to be a massive physical undertaking, and these roads into Nevada are just the first stretch of the deserts, forests and mountains of North America that lie waiting for me.
So I'm now about 40 miles into day 1 and almost at 1,300 meters, so there's been a lot of climbing, and I can tell you I'm feeling every meter with this 50 kilogram fully loaded steel bike.
Despite the heavy gear and the scale of the journey weighing on my mind, I know that starting out is always the hardest part of an expedition like this. Physically, I'm ready. But now, with just myself and thousands of miles of empty road for company, it's time to mentally get to grips with this expedition. I just need to make it up the first hill.
So I've just reached the top of the pass called Daylight Pass, which is roughly the height of Ben Nevis, highest mountain in the UK. So yeah, I'm ready to cruise on down into the town, which is about 14 miles away, and get some rest. After a little wobbling confidence this morning, as I stared at my bike, the journey is underway now, and it's very exciting. So just arrived at the town of Beatty, Nevada. So I'm at the end of day 1, and it wasn't the biggest day in the world, wasn't the toughest day in the world, but it means a lot to get that day done.
Beatty is an old mining town and a gateway to Death Valley National Park. It was once a base for some of the construction workers of nearby Area 51, meaning I might not be the only person in the area to be visiting from a long way away. I'm staying in the Atomic Inn, where I can wash the salt from my clothes and body and then refuel with some barbecue.
So I'm about to begin day 2, my Death Valley to Denali expedition. I'm in Beatty, Nevada, and today I'm going to ride 95 miles to Tonopah, Nevada, which is north from here. I turn right at the end of this street, cycle north of 95 miles, and then I'll be there. Temperature's lower this morning, it's only 5 or 6 degrees right now, and legs are a little sore after yesterday's efforts, but let's get moving, let's get through day 2.
Heading back into the desert with tired legs, I met with an unseen enemy: wind. Cycling into headwinds like this one, bearing straight down the roads I'm pedalling, make the going so much tougher, slowing progress by up to 70%. And they're mentally exhausting too.
Yeah, this is about 65 miles into the day. To be honest, I've not enjoyed today. I've just been caught in this really negative loop of thoughts, and definitely, you know, just the sheer weight of this bike has been hard on the body, and yeah, just, you know, thinking about home a lot. 2 days into a 10-week journey, it's pretty daunting, to be honest, and definitely been having doubts about, yeah, if I've just bitten off way more than I can chew.
Expeditions like these are so much more than just physical. They're often a much bigger mental challenge, and at this point I'm feeling completely overwhelmed. I need to stop and recalibrate if I want to be able to continue as well as I plan to.
Riding through Goldfield, ghost town apparently, very creepy. Wow, might see if I can stay here. The alternative is like 25 miles more, and I'm just done. I'm done for today.
I'm taking an evening off to distract myself with a history lesson. Goldfield is another old mining town. Its old buildings are relics of the early 20th century gold boom in the West. And even though it's now considered a living ghost town, there are still plenty of minerals in the surrounding landscape. I'm checking in to the local saloon to get a drink, some dinner with the locals, and a much needed rest.
So this is day 3. As you can see, it's quite cold, despite the bright blue skies out in the desert. But yeah, feeling rested and re-energized. And today I get some downhill, which will be amazing. So I'm gonna get on the bike, get moving.
After a testing start, I'm beginning to get to grips with my bike as it takes me deeper into Nevada and its expansive scenery. Endless roads framed by snowy mountains, more little mining towns, and huge blue skies provide a home for a landscape defined by its rich underground resources.
Sierra Nevadas here is gold mining country, so most of the communities and most of the people travelling by are the miners going into the mines, and so still to this day we often think about gold mining as this historical thing, but they're still getting gold out of the ground here in Nevada, as you can see from some of the huge trucks coming by. There must be a lot of gold in these mountains.
Cycling up into the Sierra Nevada mountains, the scenery develops from the desert below. And with this change comes a development in the weather too.
So this is not what I was expecting today. Desert snow.
So just made it to a little town called Carvers, which is deep in the Sierra Nevada mountains in the valley called Big Smoky Valley, which really is quite stunning. You've got snow on the mountains, and just the scale of it is vast. But it's good to get here. I've done 86 miles today, which is the longest day yet, so it's a good confidence booster. The wind was still pretty tough today, but I'm just happy to have got through the day. The body is feeling it now, like the Achilles are sore. So yeah, there's not much in the terms of amenities, so I'm glad I stopped at a little tiny store, the only store in town, the only store for 50 miles in either direction and just picked up some supplies, so I've got some food to eat tonight. But yeah, I'm pretty tired, so I will be eating my food, getting showered, getting off to bed.
Whilst clocking up these long days rides, I need to eat over 5,000 calories to keep me going. Food on the road isn't always the healthiest diet, but I have to take advantage of whatever I can get my hands on.
That's good.
And I make sure to enjoy it too, as this is my last chance to fuel up before a long, empty stretch of road.
I'm out here on a 90-mile, completely empty road, which runs from Austin in that direction, Nevada, to Battle Mountain over there. And there are no amenities whatsoever on this entire road, so I've got to make sure I got enough water, enough food in my bags there, because if anything goes wrong on this road, I'm completely on my own. But I'm feeling good, and just look at these views. What a place to be riding my bike.
Cruising down to the next town, I've got a great idea to make this ride even better.
I've decided to lighten my load here, as you can see on my bike, and it's a bit of a gamble. I basically sent a lot of my kit, my colder stuff, colder weather gear, up to Canada, where I'm going to pick it up in about 3 weeks' time. Fingers crossed it all makes it. So it just means that for the next 3 weeks I've got a lighter load on my bike and hopefully can push a bit harder and get some good miles done on the bike.
With an easier, lighter load, I'm starting to make good headway along Oregon's epic roads. But on these long stretches, I still need to carry enough to look after both myself and my bike.
I've just got my first puncture of the trip. What fun. It's been a tough day. Been feeling a little bit low. It's Easter Saturday, so all I can think about is tomorrow I'll be waking up and doing a Easter egg hunt with my 2 young children, and I'm out here pedaling away and finding it really quite tough and quite remote.
I've been on the road for less than a week, and I'm already starting to miss home. It's tough having just yourself for company across all this space. I know I've got to keep going and push on through the loneliness and the unrelenting wind. And it pays to keep your head up, because you never know what's round the next corner.
So this here is a decision point. Behind me I've got a junction, and over to the left where I was going to go, that takes you into Central Oregon. What I've decided to do is to head right and head east towards Idaho. It's a marginally longer route, but it should mean that the wind is more on my back than in my face, and I'm just so ready to be done with battling this wind, because it is all-consuming, exhausting, mentally straining. So I am done with the wind. I need to just escape it. So hopefully this decision pays off. I've done 55 miles today. It's taken 7 hours. I've still got 45 to go, so it's going to be a long day. Just got to keep moving.
I'll have to wait for the following morning to see if this big choice will pay off.
There's no wind whatsoever. I've been waiting for this for like 9 days now. It was the right decision. Even though it's a longer route, I've no doubt it's going to pay dividends and make my life easier for the next few days at least. Onwards into Idaho.
So I'm now coming down through the hills in the western part of Idaho, and it's a nice long descent, probably the longest descent I've had on good roads. And then at the bottom here of these mountains I'm going to reach the flatter lands, where I'm going to head and continue, where you've got farms and ranches and small communities. So that's my target for today, but it's just nice to get out on some open road, uninhibited by the wind or the long uphill drags, and just enjoy the journey. This is what it's all about.
But the adventure is far from over. Still to come on the Ultimate 7.
Just what a spot to be camped. As you can see, I'm caught in something of a blizzard.
Just seen my first bear. Cycling on the freeway once again.
Like a bear. Okay, time to go.
This is just unbelievable. This is what it's all about.